Thank you so much, everyone, for jumping on. We'll be diving into understanding and supporting your gut health. So, this is quite exciting. We'll be going over, I guess, your entire gut health and the whole picture of that. Now, just a bit of housekeeping. Feel free to jump in, interact when appropriate. Any messages or questions, feel free to write them down or alternatively ask at the end. And whilst I'm speaking, if we can just keep our mics on mute, that would be incredible. So, my name is Ali. I am a gut naturopath at Thrive Health Clinic, and I'm also the owner and naturopath of Naturopally. So, Ebony is also the owner and naturopath of Thrive Health Clinic. Now, gut health matters because the gut is far more than just a digestive organ. It plays a central role in immunity, mood, energy, and overall well-being. So understanding your gut is the first step to transforming your health from the inside out. Now, over 70% of immune cells actually reside in the gut, making it our body's primary system against illness and infection. So the gut is quite central to everything, which is why I absolutely love it. So we'll be diving into, you're doing a journey through the digestive system. So digestion begins here in the mouth and esophagus. So when we're chewing foods, it's actually building up enzymes that helps to break down carbohydrates before the food actually travels through to the stomach. Now, in the stomach, this is when we churn food with acid and enzymes, helping to break down proteins and helping to kill harmful bacteria. However, there are some bacterial strains that we absolutely struggle killing, things like salmonella and things like that, where we're having like maybe like raw meats or whatnot. This can actually affect our digestion and obviously make us quite sick. Now, food goes into the small intestine, which is the primary site of nutrient absorption, which is where minerals, fats, vitamins, and sugars are bypassed into the bloodstream there. Now, the large intestine and colon, this is where we absorb water, house the gut microbiome, and form waste for elimination. Now, the microbiome is quite incredible. So this is where it contains trillions of microbes that live in the gut, which includes bacteria, fungi, and viruses, which these form a complex and dynamic ecosystem that is absolutely essential to life. Microbiome diversity is the absolute key to resilience and health. So a rich variety of microbial species helps the body to adapt, recover, and thrive. The gut microbiome helps to influence digestion and nutrient absorption, metabolism, and weight regulation, also including immune response and inflammation, as well as brain function and mood through the gut-brain axis. Now, this is like a little illustration, I guess, of what the microbiome looks like after antibiotics or a colonoscopy. So what we're seeing here is a bit of dead grass, and this might be your gut right after antibiotics or a colonoscopy. What's actually happening is that we're wiping out all of our good and bad gut bacteria. So diversity and volume absolutely matters. And I guess the flowers represent the microbes and the population of it as well is quite dense as well, which can represent the volume and in healthy microbes. So your gut can look like this after a healthy diversity of probiotic admission and even just having, yeah, that good diversity. That's all that matters. And population, of course. Now, looking at the gut lining is quite integral to our immune system. This is where we commonly see lots of our poor or like leaky gut presentations when we've got that breakage in that gut lining. This represents tight junctions, if you can have a look at my video here. So when we've got a healthy, strong structure, our tight junctions, our barrier is quite strong. So our knuckles are together here. However, if our gut lining is slightly leaky, this can separate, leaving toxins to flow through and go into the bloodstream and lymphatic system, which then can cause lots of our skin conditions. So it acts as a barrier as the main purpose of the gut lining. So it helps to keep harmful bacteria, toxins, and undigested foods inside the gut. This allows nutrients, vitamins, and water to pass into the bloodstream. Now, secondly, it helps to absorb nutrients. So it takes the nutrients your body needs to help produce energy, help repair tissues, and support overall health as well. And lastly, it supports your immune system as well. So around 70% of your immune system cells are actually found in and around the gut, making the gut lining an important part of the whole body's defense system. So looking here, we're looking at the gut-brain axis. So up to 90% of serotonin is actually produced in the gut. Now, the gut and brain are in constant communication via that gut-brain axis, which is a very complex network involving the vagus nerve, hormones, and enteric nervous system. So when stress levels rise, what actually happens is that gut bacteria and function are directly altered. This bidirectional relationship means that poor gut health can affect mood regulation, anxiety, and cognition. And obviously, that mental stress can absolutely trigger digestive symptoms. So, supporting gut health is therefore inseparable from supporting mental and well-being. I actually wrote a 100 plus page ebook on the gut brain axis connection, which is available on my website to purchase. So, some common gut issues that we usually see in clinic includes vomiting, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, nausea, abdominal pain, flatulence, and burping. So, if you've ever suffered with any of these, you know it quite well. They're not normal. We should be going to the bathroom 1 to 2 times daily to pass a healthy stool, which is absolutely essential to healthy gut health. So, some common health patterns I usually see in clinic might be things like diarrhea after being in Bali, which commonly that links back to a pathogen, or if we're someone that has alternating diarrhea and constipation, typically we're looking at the gut lining and even microbial diversity. Now, if you're someone that has poops after a round of antibiotics, this can commonly be caused from that low microbial diversity in population, especially if we had healthy poops prior to antibiotics. Because remember, antibiotics wipes out the good and bad gut bacteria in the gut. Now, if you're someone that has eczema, allergies, and constipation, typically we're looking at that leaky gut kind of picture and that poor immune system function. So that's when we need to help support that gut lining and bring your junctions back together. Now, some common gut health disruptors include a diet poor that is quite high in processed foods and sugars. We're looking at stress, anxiety, burnout, and poor sleep via that gut-brain connection. We're looking at antibiotics and varied medications. For example, I took prednisone a couple of months ago and I got very, very sick from it because I hadn't looked after my gut at the time. So lots of different medications can definitely play a role on the gut if a gut is in a vulnerable state to begin with. Now, environmental toxins, quite common if you're a tradie that is always exposed to lots of things, or even things like mold or even tap water, things can really definitely impact the gut. Now, lastly, inconsistent fiber, prebiotic and probiotic intakes can also definitely impact the gut health as well. Now, supporting gut health through food, there are different categories that we can kind of see that help to really support food and digestion. So, we're looking at fermented foods as a first and foremost. So, your probiotic rich foods. So, things like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, really incredible for supporting a healthy gut, to help support that population and that diversity in the gut of your microbes. Then we're looking at your fruits and vegetables, which are very high in fiber and very nutrient-rich choices. So they help to feed your probiotics because they act as prebiotics for the gut. Now we're looking at whole grains and legumes, which are absolutely incredible for supporting your the gut integrity, but it's also really great at being acting as resistant starches, feeding your good gut bacteria. Now, lastly, we've got healthy fats and proteins, which really we are more so wanting to find the amino acids that really help to support the gut lining, and also they help and act as like anti-inflammatory as well. So moving on, my top three gut supplements look like Gut R, which has glutamine, zinc, and turmeric. So glutamine is incredible for that gut lining repair. Then you've got zinc, which helps to promote that gut bacteria integrity, and also immune system as well. And then you've got turmeric, which is a very powerful anti-inflammatory and also antioxidant for the gut. So it's truly a powerhouse supplement. Really, really incredible for that. Now we've got herbal supplementation of marshmallow root and slippery elm. I'd probably choose like 10 or 20 different herbs, but these are probably my top two herbs that I love doing for the gut. They are incredible for coating that gut lining, reducing inflammation, and supporting those regular bowel movements as well. And lastly, we've got PHGG, which helps to feed beneficial gut bacteria, support short-chain fatty acids, and also regular bowel movements as well. So if you're someone that has lots of like constipation and quite gassy, this is when short-chain fatty acids come in really, really handy. No, sorry, if we have PHGG feeding your short-chain fatty acids, sorry. So that's when it comes in quite handy. And now we're looking at probiotics. So strains absolutely matter. You've got to be very careful, I guess, with which probiotics you choose. If we're looking at probiotics over on the shelf in a chemist and we have no direction, they could be doing more harm than good because we could be feeding the wrong microbes the wrong things. These are just my top three kind of like probiotics that I usually go for. So if someone's done a course of antibiotics or had a colonoscopy done, I'd usually go for something like a broad range probiotic to help restore that gut health and help bring all of those microbes to the surface. So something like the Biome Advanced probiotic, really great for that. Next, you've got your Saccharomyces bifidobiotic, which is really great for like diarrhea presentations, viruses, even barley belly, and so forth. Now, lastly, we've got your Biogaia Protectis, which is really great for constipation and excessive gases as well. Now, moving on, actually, sorry, the Biogaia Protectis, it pairs up really nicely with your PHGG if you're someone that has more of that constipation relevant. Now, looking at digestive enzymes, they're really crucial for supporting the breakdown of different food groups and categories. So you've got your protease, which helps to break down proteins into amino acids. So this supports muscle repair and also immune function as well. You've got lipase, which breaks down fats into fatty acids, very essential for supporting fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, E, and K. Now, we've also got amylase, which helps to break down carbohydrate and starches into simple sugars. So, this is commonly found in saliva and pancreatic secretions. Now, supporting a healthy gut lining, we're looking at a couple of factors here. So, we're looking at getting enough protein in our diet through amino acids like glutamine. We're looking at fiber and beneficial gut bacteria. So, we're looking at things like kiwi fruits, really incredible for getting that regularity in. Fun little fact, kiwi fruit is really incredible before bed because you're getting enough melatonin. It's very rich in melatonin, so it really helps to support melatonin and supporting sleep, but also getting enough of your fiber in for the day to help support healthy stools the following day. Now, also key nutrients like zinc and vitamin A, but more so your fat-soluble vitamins are just incredible for gut lining. And then now we're looking at a good sleep and stress management, which we'll dive into very shortly. So there are various lifestyle factors that affect gut health, which include sleep quality, very essential for gut lining repair and microbiome balance. We're looking at hydration, which is very fundamental for digestion and elimination. We're looking at stress management, which plays such a critical role, especially in that gut-brain axis presentation. And then we're looking at regular physical activity. So movement really helps with that motility and helping food move efficiently through that digestive tract. So there are some small daily tips to get started. So having a variety of fiber-rich vegetables and fruit and fermented foods, really great for getting started. The second one is, getting enough sleep. So sleeping 7 to 9 hours each night and reducing that blue light exposure is also very essential. Prioritizing 2 liters of water daily if we're quite dehydrated. Commonly, this can create a massive impact on our stool. It can bulk up our stools a little bit more, create them a bit dry, harder to pass. So this is why hydration is really, really essential. Now, managing stress via meditation and breathing techniques when feeling stressed is also a really great strategy. And then eating your last meal 3 hours before going to sleep. Reason for that, it really helps to set in your circadian rhythm. If we've eaten right before bed, we're still awake. Our digestion is still trying to process things, which is really going to throw off our sleeping patterns and that circadian rhythm. So that should be everything. So looking at this slide here, we've got a little program running myself and Ebony from Thrive. So it's a little 4-week program and essentially it's quite exciting. So we'll be going into 2 consultations with Ebony. So in-person consults with Ebony from Thrive. So it's over a course of, it says 4 weeks, but it's more so like 6 weeks or so. So the first week is having a chat with Ebony, getting to know you. She'll give out 3 supplements as well included. So it will have your gut specific supplements. And then after that, we're doing 4 live group calls with myself on a weekly basis. Looks like it will be a Monday. And there are 2 dietary approaches to this one. So we're doing a reset phase and then a restore phase. Part of this, Ebony will also give out a Mediterranean and microbiome restoration nutrition program, weekly education, which will come from me. You'll get a sauna session in and also Thrive Herbal Tea and Samples pack, and also a meal plan and recipe as well. There will be ongoing support all throughout the program. Now, we've got this last slide, but thank you so much to everyone for joining. It was very, very lovely having a chat, and I can't wait to get to know everyone a little bit more.